All right, greetings everyone. This is it. This is the home stretch. We are closing out the Kickstarter for Young and the Dead, and we are very close to hitting our stretch goal. Hopefully we can hit that in the next, on the clock, I've got 117 minutes, and we've got just a little more than, I think, $150 to get there. And if we get to that stretch goal, everyone that's backing at the physical level is getting that awesome 3D print with 3D glasses by artist Federica Marchetti, who is just a brilliant artist and just did an amazing job on the variant cover issue number 4. And we've taken that artwork and we gave it the 3D treatment, and I really hope everyone can get that. But like I said, we are about I think a little more than $150 away from that. So I really want to hit that, and I really like to get everyone that 3D print because it's going to be super awesome. You can kind of see on the campaign if you're not familiar with it. So basically, that stretch goal we hit at $3,500. So that's what we want to hit, and we're going to be doing some drawing. And I've done a couple of things that I want to mention that hopefully we can, will help us reach that. But anyway, I'm just going to run through the Kickstarter real quick. So just show off some of these variant covers. So this is the variant cover for issue number 5 by Russ Leach. Again, this is that awesome cover that Federica Marchetti did for issue number 4. And then, of course, you can get to see some of the interior art by yours truly. And then the standard cover of issue number 5, which is the latest issue. If you've got the other issues, this is the one that's brand new. And you can see a little preview of that issue right here. This one's going to be super cool. This is what I call, this is sort of the, I would equate this to the Empire Strikes Back, where, things aren't going to, it's not going to end on a super positive note, but it's going to have a pretty cool cliffhanger. And then we're going to wrap everything up in the next issue. So I'm super excited to have this. And I had a lot of fun writing and drawing this one. But if you like Goonies, Monster Squad, Gremlins, Stranger Things, Night of the Living Dead, then you're going to love Young and the Dead, No Zombies Allowed. This is another variant cover by Gary Hodges. And that one was for issue 3. Then the cover for issue 2 by Corey Kerr. And the issue number 1 variant cover by Joshua Kimball. And let's see. And let me go see if we got. Okay, hold on. All right. And then there's just tons of cool rewards. One of them that we're going to work on now is a sketch cover. So right here, you can see at $100, you get all these comics plus the sketch cover. Typically, I do sketch covers for at least $100 anyway, and you're going to get all this cool stuff. So not a bad reward to back. And then if you want, this is pretty much everything, except for there's the last one that's the original art. That one is gone for the cover. But this one's got all the variant covers, all the standard covers, the digital copies, the little threat level thing that you can cut out and you put a Brad in it, and just depending on what your day is like, that's where you put it up here. It's got a blank sketch cover that you can do your own sketch on, and it has the zombie sketch covers, which we're going to do right now. So I'm going to switch back over to this. We'll get back to, we'll kind of continue to check in on the campaign. And, feel free to spread the word, because we really do. If you've already backed it, we want to get out. Like I said, we need to, in the next, 113 minutes, we need to raise about $150, which is not impossible to do, especially when you consider this. So let me show you. I showed you some of those sketch rewards. Now, with those sketch rewards, if you back like at that $100 level, $150 level, it's kind of whatever you get. You don't really get to choose what sketch. But if you are already backing at a physical level, let me click over here. How do I close this out? Stop screen. Okay. All right. So if you're already backing at a physical level, I added some add-ons. You can add this cover. You will specifically get this cover, this Mr. T Zombie. If you add $75 to your pledge, there are add-ons that if you're back again at the physical level. So if you're getting physical comics, not digital, you can add this on. This particular one, you will get this actual zombie sketch cover of Mr. T, and that's $75. And then another one I put on there is this Terminator sketch cover. So if you back for $75, there's add-ons. You'd have to go to adjust your pledge or something like that, and then you can add this onto your pledge. And for $75, you will get this here. And I've got one other one on there that hasn't been drawn yet, but that's what we're going to work on. I'm going to do a Ghostbuster zombie sketch for this cover, and you can back that for, again, $75 will get you that. This actual cover will get included in your physical pledge if you're backing at the physical level. And if you're not at the physical level, maybe you back digitally, but you really want one, you can always upgrade your pledge and to get one of these. So let's get started. And the one thing I see there's people watching, but I don't see anyone in the chat right now. If anyone is watching and wants to hop in the chat, if you can let me know if my microphone sounds okay, because the past 3 of these streams that I did, I got this new document camera, which is pretty cool. But what I realized was it was using the audio. When I plugged it in, it automatically defaulted to the audio on the document camera, which is garbage, evidently, because no one could even hear. And I am right next to this thing. So anyway, but I switched it over to my other mic. So hopefully everyone can hear me this time around. But let's get started. You know what? There's a lot of shadow here. I should have got some more light, but I don't want to bother to set that up right now. So we'll just have to kind of go through this. Let me see if we can. I don't know if that helps at all. All right. So we are going to, let's see. We're gonna do like I said, a zombie Ghostbuster. And I think I'm gonna go. I know obviously the Bill Murray character Venkman is popular, but I'm going to go with Ray Stantz just because I think we can get more out of it, because he's got. I'm looking at this version of Ray Stantz where he's got kind of the cigarette hanging out of his mouth, and then I don't know what you call it. It's like the ghost finder, the goggle thing, which I saw a video a little while ago. Somebody actually built that on one of those maker channels, which is really cool. But I just think that will make for a better drawing, because once he's zombified, you're not going to really tell it's Peter Venkman or Ray Stantz anyway. And I like the idea of the viewfinder. So again, this sketch that I'm doing right there. Hey, Landon, how's it going? Oh, good. And Miguel, thank you for letting me know that it sounds good. So yeah, that's good. I feel Rebecca's like, I did 3 streams like that, and it wasn't until the very last stream that somebody mentioned that the sound was so bad. I'm like, oh man. And so I kind of had to figure out how to fix it. But all right. So yeah, like I said, if you came in late, I'm doing some zombie sketch covers. We're going to try to reach, we need just to, in order to get everyone the 3D print with 3D glasses as that stretch goal, we need to raise another, like just a little over $150, like $151 is basically how it works. So hopefully we'll be able to get there in the next, hold on a second, let me see where we are. The next 109 minutes. So we're going to go until we close this Kickstarter out. This is kind of the Kickstarter wrap party. So let's make this happen, people. Well, I mean, the Kickstarter is already going to happen, but I do want to get to that. I really do want to get to that stretch goal, because we are so close, you know. All right. So let's see. I'm just going to continue. Hopefully you can, I think you guys can see that a little better. I am digging this document camera, but a lot of it has to do with the lighting, which I forgot to, I was in such a hurry. I had like a super crazy migraine earlier, and I was like, oh man, I hope this goes away so I can do this stream. And eventually it did. I laid down in the dark for a little bit, and it still wasn't great when I got up, but then I went and got something to eat, and that kind of helped too. So we're good to go. I feel a lot better now. All right. So yeah, again, we're just going to do these goggles, this version of Ray Stantz, which you can add to your pledge. You can get this actual sketch cover for additional $75 if you just go and add on. There's no pictures of it on the campaign. I just went ahead and added. So I think you have to go into like adjust your pledge or something like that, and then you'll see it. There's 3. One will say Ghostbusters zombie sketch cover. One will say I think zombie Mr. T, sketch cover, and the other one is Zombie Terminator, and you can get either one of those. You can add to your pledge there. So, all right, let's see. And if nobody backs it, then I guess I get to keep this one, or maybe it'll go in somebody that bought one of the kind of random sketch covers. But I like the idea that you can actually pick which one you want. Which, when I started the campaign, I didn't know exactly how I didn't know how well it was going to be, if there was going to be a lot of these sketch covers, because it's kind of weird, because when I do these sketch covers like at a store signing, I'm usually pretty busy doing them, but evidently, the audience on YouTube is a little different, and, through mailing lists and everything. So they weren't quite as popular as they are when I'm kind of doing an in-person signing. So it's kind of weird, but all right, let's see. Of course, there's a lot of detail to this thing. Let's see. But this should be fun. Yeah. So I'm just kind of doing the running theme of 80s zombie, sketches. So I'm not exactly sure. I'm going to make him have sort of a kind of a thinner neck, like it's kind of, because zombies are typically pretty gaunt. And then he's got this collar here. Hey, Josh is in the house. Hey, Josh. No, you said I was going to be rapping. I'm wrapping up, and that's with a W. I will not be doing any rapping on the stream, so we're just gonna wrap this thing up. But thanks for coming over, Josh. I know you've been streaming all day, so I didn't know if you were still gonna be streaming, but it's cool that you're in the house watching this. So I'm just doing this Ghostbuster sketch cover right now. And then you'll be able to add this onto your pledge for additional $75, and you'll get this actual sketch cover. Let me see. Hold on a second. I have another reference here. I got to find this reference I'm looking at is Peter Venkman, just kind of holding, so I'm kind of combining a couple different things here. So, but I want to show some of the, the not the proton pack, but what do we call the guns? I know the packs are proton packs, but I forgot what you call the actual guns they use. Feel free to let me know in the chat. So, but yeah, it's been a crazy busy day. I usually on Fridays is when I record my YouTube videos, and edit them and everything. So I did all that. I did a video on AI art, because that seems like it's crazy in the zeitgeist right now. It seems all over the internet, and it's crazy looking at some of the stuff that these AI, art generators can do. And I don't want to give too much away of what I talk about in the video or where I stand on it and everything, but yeah, it's a little insane. But feel free to let me know in the chat what you guys think about, AI art and everything. It's definitely, I think it will change everything. So we just don't know if it's going to be for the better or for the worse. All right. Now the trick is I've got to make this a zombie version. So let's kind of do some rips here, and then maybe see some of his spinal column just kind of hanging down here. And then we need, let's put because they got the patch here, but we gotta show more of the actual zombie. So let's have some tearaways here. Maybe see a little bone coming out, and then some muscle and stuff. Josh says it's a tool. I did touch on that. Yeah, definitely. I think, that is part of where I stand, is that it definitely can be a tool. I think it will affect in a lot of cases. It will affect jobs. But it's kind of, us as any industry. You know, you've got to be able to pivot, and you've got to be able to adjust with some of this stuff. So I can start pulling up some of these comments. So, oh, and Victor's in the house. Hey, Victor. Hope him make the stretch goal. Me too, Victor. Let's see. And Josh is here. He's talking about the AI. I think like every tool, it gets rolled into the art process, but won't destroy the foundations of art. No, I don't think anything will destroy the foundations of art, but I do think it's going to affect some industries quite a bit. So, but again, I don't want to give too much away just because I just did a whole video on it, and I don't want to repeat myself before I air the video. Yeah, so and we should probably show some of the stream coming out here. Got that going on. It's kind of cool. I think, and just for Josh's information, yes, Don't Crossing the Streams is a reference from Ghostbusters, not Back to the Future. I remember he said that on a podcast, and I think everyone watching was like, Back to the Future, or I think it was you might have said something else, but it wasn't Ghostbusters. But I know Josh, I mean, I do that all the time where I accidentally say the wrong thing, and half the time I'm not even thinking. So let's have some kind of bones sticking out from the glove. Oh, Spaceballs. That's right. It was Spaceballs. Ilya's in the house. How's it going? We're gonna take this thing to the very end. We're still at where we started, as far as we're at $3,349. We need to get to $3,500 in order for everyone to get that 3D print. So I have added some additional add-ons for these sketch covers. The Terminator, the Mr. T, and the one I'm working on right now, the Ghostbusters. There are add-ons where you can add those onto your pledge for $75, which is a steal compared to what I usually charge for a sketch cover. So let's see, where's somewhere I don't see where's my pencil sharpener? Is it in this bag? Oh, but I could use my eraser. So let's see. So Victor says AI art is just a trend. It's cool for now, but I don't think it will last. It will eventually phase out until the next trendy things come along. I don't know if I necessarily agree with you, Victor. I mean, I definitely think right now it's definitely in the zeitgeist, and it's getting a lot of attention, and I think that attention will go away. But I don't think AI generated art is going to go away. I think it's here to stay. I think now that we have that technology, I mean, why would people that maybe not artists who need art just decide, well, this thing exists, but I'm not going to use it anymore. You know, people are going to continue to do it, and it's only going to get better. So I'm not sure if I agree that it is sort of trending right now, but I don't think it is a trend in the sense that it's going to go away. It may not be, you may not hear about it as much, but it's not going to go away. At least that's my opinion. Let's see. I don't know where I put my pencil sharpener. I guess, oh, here's one. All right. All right, now the fun part, we get to draw the zombie face here. So, oh, I forgot, well, I guess I haven't drawn his mouth yet, so, because I do want to have that. It's kind of that kind of iconic scene where the cigarette's just kind of hanging out of his mouth. I sort of trademark one giant zombie eye Like this is the thing. I'm sure that I'm sure if you typed in Ghostbuster zombie, you may be able to get this in an AI generator, and no doubt it would look a little more like a painting and everything. And I'm sure you can. I know you can change things. I don't know how it handles like line art so much right now, like comic book style stuff. I don't think it's mastered that, although I think it's just a matter of time before it does. I could be wrong though, but most of the stuff I'm seeing is more, it's kind of like sort of concept art, painted type art. Okay. I guess we, in order to have that effect, because usually it's a lot of times I'll draw these zombies with just their jaw hanging off, but I think with this one, with that kind of iconic cigarette, we need to kind of draw his lips here, kind of perched, and then maybe throw in a couple of zombie teeth. I think that's going to make it work a little better. Oh, Christopher Rauschman's in the house. Brunchman, see. Okay. Okay. We got some more stuff on. Here we go. All right. I think AI art will continue, but people will feel hollow from its output and look towards artists to steer it. And follows up with, it can't generate story and human interaction, at least not yet. Yeah, I mean, actually, well, I don't know. I know there are story AIs, and it's probably a matter of time before they link the two. I mean, there's AIs that are creating music. There's AIs that are creating stories, scripts, songs. So I don't know. I still think I agree. I mean, I think it's to me, it's kind of like you could have a camera, but that doesn't necessarily make you a photographer. So although a lot of people like to think that, and whether you agree with that or not, but I mean, I think you can see the difference between somebody who's a really good photographer and just sort of an amateur. Same thing with artists. I mean, but it's going to be interesting, but I'm going to lean more into sort of process stuff, because I think people are still going to want to see, the process of artwork being created, instead of just watching somebody key in, some just random prompts. Thank you, Christopher. Yeah, this sketch, anyone that's just joining, this sketch will be available. There's already you can snatch it up right now. There's already a add-on for this. I know you don't see what it looks like, but yet, because it's not done. There's 3. I just added 3 sketch cover add-ons that you can add for $75 to your physical pledge. And where did I just lost the, hold on, I got to find somehow I closed out the Kickstarter website, so I can't see what's going on. Let me, hold on. All right, back in here. Okay, we are a little closer. So somebody just backed it. So right now we're getting closer. We got a little more than $100 to raise in the next 93 minutes, which is totally doable. Like I said, especially with these sketch covers that I added. Whereas if you backed a sketch cover tier previously, like those $100 and $150 tiers, you don't necessarily get to pick which. I mean, I could, depending. I may. Since I don't have a lot of them, I may give people the opportunity to choose if you want this one first, second, or third, and you kind of, you can have your first choice. I may give those people an option, but with these ones, the Mr. T, the Terminator, and the one I'm working on now, you will, if you add these to your tiers, you will get those exact sketch covers. And these are sketch covers for issue number 5, which is the latest issue. Which I don't want to. There's a few spoilers in there, so there's a lot of stuff happening in this issue. This is a pivotal moment in the story. This is the penultimate issue, so next issue being the final issue. So we're just ramping up, and we're gonna, we're gonna find our heroes in some precarious situations here. So I'm really excited for people to get this one. Let's see. I don't know how to mod you. Let's see. Frank or Josh, you've modded people. Tell them, how do I, there's a star here. What does the star do? Let me see. And I don't want to put you in timeout. A star. I put a star on you, but I don't know how to mod people, Josh. But I can post a link here. on the bottom, if you just type in youngandthedead.com, then you click the three dots. Okay, I'm clicking the three dots. I just see I put user in timeout or block user is all I'm getting. I don't want to do either of those. Yeah, all I see is on the three dots is just put user in timeout or block user. So I don't know if there's something I have to do. I'm not sure, but I'll see if I'm sure I can post a link. Let's see. Let me hold on a second. Give me a second. I'll post, and I gotta get better at this though. I mean, Josh does a lot more live streaming than me, so he knows. I just started getting back to doing live streams when I did this Kickstarter. So let's see. All right. But it's just youngandthedead.com. That'll take you. So if you can't find it on Kickstarter, I try to make it super easy. Hold on. So I'm going to try to post this in here. That should be the link. I don't know if it's going to be clickable. We'll see. I guess it's not clickable. But I mean, I guess you can cut and paste it maybe. But again, just type in youngandthedead.com in any browser, and it'll take you right there. How do we make here we got a comment. How do we make a comic? Can I make a video? Actually, I have a series of videos on how to make comics. It's called Making Comics 101. There's a playlist, and it takes you every step of the process of making a comic. Everything with coming up with your ideas all the way to the finished product. So I definitely couldn't show how to make a comic in one video, but there is a series of videos on my channel that will show you how to do that. It is the most comprehensive course for free on YouTube or anywhere else that I know of that you're going to find on making comics. And it's, like I said, it's free. So it's free. I put this stuff out here for free so that eventually, you guys can pay it forward and I put something out there like this Kickstarter, and then, it's, hopefully it's kind of a two-way street. I know a lot of the folks in the chat have already backed it. So thank you so much. And like I said, we're getting super close to reaching that stretch goal. So we're a little more than $100 away with 89 minutes to go in the campaign. So. All right. And this stuff, Josh, is harder than talking and drawing and doing a live stream. It's not easy. You make it look easy. Oh, thanks, Christopher. Yeah, I've got something called the Comic Maker Starter Kit on my website at Serkworks.com, and it's free. If you just join my mailing list, you'll get that, and it's got a bunch of digital tools for making comics, page layouts, fonts. I think it's got word balloons, all kinds of stuff. Oh yeah, definitely check it out then. If you're 9, I mean it's pretty much that series is pretty much works for all ages, and a lot of it isn't like sitting down and showing you how to draw, but it's walking you through the process, the different things you do. So, I mean, there's plenty of videos that show you how to draw. So you can kind of use those in conjunction with that course, but it does talk about, the steps you need to take to create a comic. So we don't get into showing like how to draw the human form and all that kind of stuff. Because there's plenty of other content that'll show you that. And it takes so long to learn. But once you have those skills, what do you do with them? And that's kind of what my course shows you how to do. Josh says he loves streaming while drawing, usually just do chunks, like draw for about 10 minutes, then check with the chat. Yeah, I'm kind of trying to do all of them because I know, you know, typically it doesn't take me 2 hours to do a sketch like this. So I'm just kind of pacing it out. Also, I've got some other things I got to do. There's still some, you know, again, I didn't know who was which levels were people going to be interested in. I know when I do store signings, these remarks are super, this one's blank. These remarks are super popular. So I had an early bird tier, and there's still, even now the campaign's almost over, there's still some of those early birds available. But if you want, like at the $55 level, if you haven't backed already, there's the remark version, which is a little drawing that I actually draw right on the cover and sign it and everything. So I've done a few of those. So I've got to do a few more. I haven't done enough of those. I think I've got plenty of sketch covers done. So if I finish this one, maybe I'll get back to doing remarks. But that'll be this weekend. I plan on getting everything together, because one thing I really like to do with my Kickstarter, and just so everyone knows, the comic book is done. Issue 5 is done. Everything is done. It's just, you know, we got to just get the funds and get it over to the printer. And in the meantime, I'm going to be, you know, wrapping up any additional like sketch covers, things like that. So I want to get this thing out to you as soon as possible. I don't like to wait, you know, on Kickstarters. I don't want people to wait. So I try to, even though I said I want to deliver it by November, my goal is to have it out a lot faster than that. So I'm going to be going out of the country actually in October, but so that there may be a little lag there, but hopefully I can get it out before, you know, at least get it in the mail before then. But we also have to see, you know, how long it takes for, you know, to get the funds and the printer back, because I think just with convention season, which is kind of winding down, I would assume now getting towards the end of summer, that maybe it won't be as much of a wait. But I know the last time I ordered, like when I ordered these sketch covers, it did take a little longer than I would have liked. But I understand that because it's, you know, there's just a big demand, and, you know, there's paper shortages and all that kind of stuff. So. I should draw some like entrails coming out. All right. Pouch here. Am I coming up to, I wish I was coming up to Canada. Frank wants maple syrup. Frank and his maple syrup. No, I've never been to Canada, actually. I definitely would like to go. I am, believe it or not, I am going to Saudi Arabia to premiere a comic book that I'm creating. There's a big, it's not, I keep wanting to say smart city, but they've informed us they're not using that terminology. It's called a cognitive region. And it's one of these just state-of-the-art, I guess, region, not city, that they, you know, they're part of it. They've built this artificial island, and there's this kind of ski resort. None of this is actually finished yet, but there's going to be a convention there, and we've created a comic book superhero team that's going to kind of introduce this and talk about, it's cybersecurity based. So we're talking about how to be cyber safety, you know, everything. So it's gonna be an experience, but we still have a lot of work to do, but we get it done, so it's going to be fun going out there. I mean, I have been to North Africa before. I've been to Morocco when I went to Spain, and then we kind of just took the boat up to Morocco, but I've never been to Saudi Arabia for sure. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. Let's see. All right. Okay, I think we're getting close. Maybe a little more detail. Oh, looks like we got another backer. We are like $101 away. So I think we got another back. I think, yeah, because I don't think we were there before. So let's see. I'm just gonna go here real quick. Maybe I can see who's backed recently. Hold on a second here. Okay, I don't see anyone that's in the chat, although there might be somebody watching that's not in the chat. But I don't know if I want to read out the names of people that have backed, unless maybe they are in the chat. But let's see. And I imagine, like I said, I imagine a lot of the people in the chat maybe have already backed the project before. I know, definitely a few have. So can I make, oh, that's a good question. Let's see. Can I make the Young and the Dead comic a live stream? I've done that before. If you mean like, if you mean show the drawing of the comic, I may do that. Because I still haven't started the next issue. I'm hoping that once this is out, then I'm going to start the next issue. And I've done that before, where I have live stream parts of it, or at least recorded parts of it and shown some things. I know towards the end of the year, I'm going to be making a few changes to the channel and some of the content that I'm doing. Some of that is prompted by kind of what's going on with the AI stuff. Not that I'm going to be doing AI artwork, but again, focus more on the process, because I think that's something that AI can't do that people are interested in. And again, the process is kind of like what I'm doing here, because I do a lot of lecturing and talking and stuff, and talk about the industry and being an artist and everything. But I think couple that with art, and then I just got some other cool stuff that I'm planning. So there will be some changes. So it just depends. Live streams are part of that changes. I don't know what the live streams will be of yet. I just got to figure out exactly. I'm still kind of figuring out that plan, but I'm building an all new studio. I don't want to say state of the art, but for me, state of the art, a lot better than what I've currently got. So will I be visiting Abu Dhabi? I'm not sure where Abu Dhabi is isn't that in the United Arab Emirates, which I don't think is in Saudi Arabia. I could be wrong. I'm not too familiar with the geography out there, but I don't know. We'll be flying into, I assume, what city we'll be flying into to get there, or I think there might even be an airport at this place. It's called, if anyone's interested, if anyone wants to know what I'm talking about, just Google Neom, NEOM.com, and just check it out, and you will be amazed at what they're building out there. So. And it's going to be fun. I'm not drawing the comic. I'm just writing it. But Federica, who did the variant cover for issue 4, and hopefully this 3D cover that everyone's going to get, if we can raise another $101 in the next 80 minutes, everyone will get that sketch cover. The artist that did that is the artist that's working with me on the comic. And she's just incredible with, not only, I mean, she can really show, and this is sort of an international city, so there's going to be people from all over the world. It's like a New York or a Paris or something like that. And she's really good at drawing different nationalities. She's really good at backgrounds. And once you see this place, if you go to neom.com, once you see this place, you'll see, I mean, how cool some of the architecture and thing is there that she's going to be drawing. And I just don't have time to draw myself with all my other obligations. So just hiring the best person for the jobs, and she's just amazing. So, and she's already sent me some character design sketches that looked amazing. So it's going to really be a fun project. I'm hoping I can get a bunch of them, the comics, myself, so I can maybe put a few on my store or something like that. Even though, like I said, I wrote it, didn't draw it, but all right. I think I'm just kind of doodling away here. I could probably start inking now. Yeah, and I didn't know if it was going to happen. It's still kind of the problem when you deal with some of these big companies, and even this is a country we're dealing with, and I've done stuff here in the U.S. with organizations in the U.S., and there's just so much approval and red tape. So we're trying to get everything pushed along as best we can. So we're kind of working ahead on things we don't even have approval for, because there's just no time to wait. So it's better, I guess, we figure it's better to just go ahead with it. If we have to make changes, we can, instead of just waiting. So that's kind of what we're up against. But anyway, let's see. So Josh, the overhead cam is it's called Impevo. IPEVO, IPEVO, and this is a V4K. So it's a 4K camera, and like, it's cool. Like, here, hold on. So I can change the exposure right on the camera. There's a button, so you can see how I can make it brighter or whatever. Change the exposure. There's some other buttons I don't know what they do. It has software. I haven't hooked up the software. I've just got it run directly to the USB. But the software allows you to like take a snapshot. So if you want to, instead of scanning, if you have your lighting and everything okay, you can just scan basically at the click of the button, just take a picture of documents and things like that. But Gary Hodges recommended this to me, and I'm pretty happy with it. Again, I think it helps to have the right lighting situation. You can see there's a lot of shadow here because I need probably some other lighting when I get the new studio set up. I'll have all that, but it is good. The only thing, if you miss the beginning of it, the mic on it is crap. So if you get one of these things, make sure if you're streaming that and they're like $100. I think there's some that are cheaper and there's some that are more expensive from this brand. And there's other brands too that have cheaper ones. I can't vouch for those ones, but just don't use the mic because it will automatically default to the mic on the camera. And I mean, I'm up right next to it, and I did 3 streams, and you could barely hear me. And literally, my mouth is so close to this camera, so it's like the camera is bad. And maybe there's something with the software that needs to be adjusted that I don't have. I don't know, but anyway, let's see. All right, yeah. I'm just checking over. We're still at $3,399, and we've got to get $101 more. Again, these sketch covers, if you want one of them and you're already at a physical level, you can add one for $75. This is the Ghostbusters one here. You can add the Ghostbusters one or the Mr. T one, or let's see, what else? Or the Terminator one. It looks like this. I drew this. This one's a little thinner. This little, I don't know what you call it, viewfinder thing, binoculars or whatever. I think I need to get a drink here. So I know we got some 9-year-olds, so this isn't for you, but anyone that's of age and that drinks, you guys drink anything tonight? I've got some Coke with some pecan whiskey, and it's really good. Yeah, these goggles may not be screen accurate. I can also see that my perspective's off a little on these ellipses. So, but it is kind of a quick sketch. So, I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. Sometimes with these photo reference, you can't always get a good read. I know there's probably tons more reference on this thing, but I'm just looking at one in particular, and it's got like a little thing that comes up here and comes down. I was thinking of doing the Rick Moranis when he's got that thinking helmet thing on that they put on him, which actually I was for Halloween last year. My girlfriend was the gatekeeper and I was the keymaster, or was it the other way around? I'm trying to remember. But I actually built the little headset thing that he wore in the movie, and it's pretty close. I found a colander, I think Goodwill, and then I found all the wires and everything. It may make an appearance when I get the new channel going on. I may have it in the background somewhere of the new underground layer when it gets its upgrade. Oh yeah, I think I gave Josh. Didn't I give you a bottle of that stuff, Josh? It's called Rebel, I think Rebels, either Rebel or Revel Stoke, and it's pecan whiskey. And I think they have it at like Bevmo. I get it at Winco. I don't know who has Winco. I think they have it in California, Josh, but I'm not sure where else in the country they have Wincos. Let's see. But, you know, feel free if you got any last minute people that you think may be up that may want to jump in on this campaign. I don't mind people sharing. I know not everyone, you know, has the funds to back it, but shares are very helpful too. So especially if you know somebody that's just a big zombie fan or a fan of like 80s action films with kids like Goonies and Monster Squad, all that stuff. Okay, well, let's see. So Christopher says, I'm a genius. Thank you. I just hooked up my, I don't know what that is, overhead scanner up. Okay, so to shoot me drawing. Okay. So you probably have, I'm guessing you have something like what I'm doing. It's just you didn't think of, some people just use them just to take pictures of their artwork instead of drawing. So yeah, I'm not familiar with that model, but it sounds similar to kind of what I'm doing. The worst camera, yeah, because I was usually using a regular webcam, but this thing I'm using now is 4K. Of course, a lot of it has to do with the streaming quality, you know, but it can't hurt. So, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. And if I can get the right lighting condition, and once I get it in the new studio and I have a permanent lighting situation, I think it's really gonna be awesome. So. Right. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna. I feel, you know, I feel kind of relaxed tonight. I went out and as I mentioned, I had this migraine, and I lay down, and then it was a little better, but not so great. So I went and I just had a craving for Hawaiian barbecue. So I went around and got some Hawaiian barbecue, and it's like over here in Arizona, it's monsoon season still. So it just started raining. I just washed my car. It's like I wasted my clean car just because I could have kept it in the garage and it would have been fine. But I wasted my clean car just so I could run up and get Hawaiian barbecue. So went up and did that, and then I forgot why I even mentioned that. There was probably some point to that. Other than to say how much I like Hawaiian barbecue. Oh, I know what I was getting. That weather with it. We got Peaches Phillips in the house. Hello, how's it going? We're just doing a stream here, closing out the Kickstarter for Young and the Dead, which is my comic book. It's a kids versus zombie adventure comic. You can be found at youngandthedead.com, and we've got 68 minutes, a little more than an hour to go. And we've got to raise about $101 to get to the next stretch goal, which is a really cool 3D print. So, I'm doing some sketch covers. This is issue number 5, a sketch for issue number 5 of the comic, and I'm just doing a drawing on this, which these are all going to be available as add-ons. So if you're already back in the project, you can find this sketch cover. It's listed if you go into add-ons when you go to change your pledge or whatever. You can add these on. It'll say zombie Ghostbuster sketch cover, and there's a zombie Mr. T and a zombie Terminator. And those are all available. I think it's like $75 to add that. And it's an original art. And it's something that I think most of these have been chronicled here on the channel. So it's something you get to have something that was actually, created right here on the channel, which is kind of cool. Thank you. I appreciate that. No wonder you're going to write comics in a space city. Let's see. But I keep getting distracted. So anyway, I was talking about just the weather outside. That weather is just kind of, I like the, kind of monsoon season where it cools down a little bit. It's you get some rain and just that smell in the air of rain. And I guess if you live in a place that rains all the time, you probably don't like it. But in the desert where we don't get a lot of rain, it's kind of the opposite. So other than the fact that no one knows how to drive in the rain here, myself probably included, because we just don't get a lot of it. But when we do, it's kind of nice. So I just kind of got this mellow vibe. So I'm not going to rush this drawing. I'm just going to kind of take my time with it. And, even though it is kind of a sketch, but I just kind of feel like chilling out, having a little whiskey and drawing and just celebrating the culmination of this Kickstarter. And if we can meet our stretch goal, that's even better. But we have funded, so everyone will be getting their books. But I would like for everyone to get a little more, especially when we're this close. It would be just kind of a shame if everyone didn't get their stuff with us being this close. I mean, everyone didn't get the bonus, the 3D print. And if you go to the campaign, you can see what that 3D print looks like. It's pretty cool. I've done a few of those. Actually, I just got a notification in my Etsy store that I sold one. I've got a 3D print called Escape from the Third Dimension, and it's like this space girl on this 3D or on this like space like motorcycle, and there's all these aliens chasing after him. It's on my I think it's on my website too under the prints, but I just sold one of those today. So I always get excited when I sell those 3D prints because they're just super fun. The problem with them, they don't always sell that well, the prints anyway, because it's hard to like frame it. Most people that buy prints, they want to frame it, but since it's 3D, unless you're walking around all day with your 3D glasses, you don't get the full effect. But it's still something that's cool to have to pull out, or maybe even it would be cool just to, if you're going to frame it, put a little shelf on the bottom of the frame and stick 3D glasses there. So when people walk by, oh, let's check it out. That's kind of a cool, I never thought about that, but you could definitely do that. All right. So this, of course, it's going to add a whole other level once I get to the point where I'm coloring this guy in, but yeah, zombies are fun to draw, just all the little muscle and sinew and stuff that, I don't know. And the fun thing is you can kind of fudge the anatomy a little bit because it's, he's falling apart. So if his shoulder's a little out of whack or something like that, that's just because he's rotting away, Let's see. Switchblade comb and 3D glasses, and you're all set. Yeah. Is that a reference to? Wasn't there a character in Back to the Future that had he was wearing the 3D glasses? I don't remember if he had the switchblade comb. If that would have been, I assume, Back to the Future. No, that would have been Back to the Future, not Back to the Future 2. Because 3D. I mean, they've had those 3D glasses since the 50s, definitely. Especially the anaglyph ones, which are like the red and blue ones, which is what the print is. Seven fingers and learn. So it's probably a reference to like what, West Side Story or something. I think that's what Christopher was making the reference to. Let's see. Okay, Peaches Phillips wants to know, can I make a video on how to draw a zombie? Possibly. That's something that I could probably do a video of. I know, because we got a question earlier about drawing. Can I do a video on how to make a comic? Which it's pretty involved, but I do have a whole series on how to make comics. But yeah, that one I can. I mean, I'll try to. I mean, even with this video, I'll kind of walk through some of the things. I mean, it really kind of just depends. I mean, everyone's going to kind of draw their zombies a little differently. For me, it's not much different than drawing the human form, but like I said, you don't have to worry too much about getting the correct anatomy. Some tips that I personally like to do, I don't like to draw. I like to just draw the whites of the eyes. I don't like to usually draw pupils. I think that makes it look a little more like a zombie. I'm using this Kiritake brush pen, which gets some nice thick and thin lines. And I don't know, it's got a really, you can get a real kind of sketchy feel to it. Let's see some other tips on drawing zombies that I can think of. Well, it's basically what you want to learn how to do first is you want to learn the skeleton, because it's just a matter of adding to it. You know, if you know sort of how, you know, the bones in the arms are and all that kind of stuff. If you just look at a skeleton, then you can imagine sort of adding some flesh to that and kind of having it kind of torn away. So that's where it'll probably start if you're going to draw a zombie, is do a light kind of sketch of a skeleton, and then, you know, you can add some clothing to it if the zombie has clothing, and then I always put tears and things in the clothing, so there's some of the skin and stuff below. And then, you know, there's different kinds of zombies. I've seen the ones that are more like infected, where you've got just, I don't know, like pus and like these bulbous little, you know, protrusions coming out and stuff like that. I draw a little bit of that. I like to draw some of the muscle. And for drawing muscle, you know, I typically do this. It's a lot of cross hatching where, you know, because, you know, I'll do that and then I'll draw some like that and then some like that. And then I might, where there's some flesh here, I might put it like where the flesh is kind of torn away and draw some of the more muscles there, and, you know, put some maybe veins in there. Again, maybe some, you know, pustule bubbles or whatever. But that's a little bit of texturing that I typically add to when I do zombies. Oh, so well, Frank, weren't you in the chat here? So I know you were doing I saw you doing the stream. Were you? I guess maybe you weren't in. Oh yeah. Wait, hold on. I got to go all the way back. No, you were. So I don't know how you do this, Frank. How can you stream yourself and then also be in somebody else's stream? I don't know how you multitask like that. It is quite a feat, Frank. Oh, Chris Gallagher is in the house. Hey, Chris. Thanks for backing the project. I've been telling everybody, if you want to add to your pledge, we're like $101 away from getting to our next sketch goal, because I want you to get that 3D print. But I'm doing these sketch covers. I've got 3 of them that I've added add-ons for. If you want to add on to $75, you can get, there's one tier where you can, an add-on where you can get the Terminator sketch cover, the Mr. T zombie, or this Ghostbusters zombie that I'm working on right now. So we are less than an hour. We're just an hour away to go, and we got to raise like another $101, which I think is totally doable. I think we've probably raised that in the last hour, I hope. Or so. I mean, the thing is, you know, with this campaign, I was really hoping I would get the Project We Love thing from Kickstarter this time around. I didn't, and I've kind of looked it up on Kickstarter, and unfortunately, the project's pretty much been buried. I mean, I have to go so deep. So, yeah, other than my own promotion, which I probably haven't been doing enough of, you can always do more promotion, but I don't know. I don't know how you get the eye of a Kickstarter, or how, you know, what I have to do. I thought, because we were doing really good right off the gate. We hit our initial funding in the first 24 hours. And I had always heard that if you can do that, then it just builds crazy momentum and it goes from there. But I mean, all Kickstarters kind of slow down in the middle. It's sort of that bathtub chart where it starts off really high, then it dips, and then it bottoms out, and then it goes back up at the end, which is definitely what we're seeing now. but I just thought, I was hoping we'd get some momentum in the beginning with hitting that funding and get maybe Kickstarter to see it and like maybe just kind of, oh, this is kind of a cool project. Let's put that project we love tag on it. But that didn't happen. But you know, it's all good. You know, you just continue to go. I would like to. It'd be nice if I can get this to do better than my first Kickstarter, which I'm not sure if that will quite happen. Definitely backers, though. The thing is, I've had more backers this time by a pretty good margin than even the first Kickstarter for you know that I ran. And you know, the other problem is there's people that they've already backed it, so they've got a lot of these comics, and of course there is a new one. So, but yeah, I don't know. It's who knows, you know, who knows some of the, there's got to be, I probably for the next Kickstarter, I probably maybe invest in some of the comics launch courses and things like that on better ways for me personally to take the responsibility and run the Kickstarter a little more efficiently and better. I've just, you know, I've kind of been super busy. I know I haven't like scheduled as much. Like for instance, I was going to do, oh, Marsh is in the chat. Hey, Marsh. Yeah, so I was on Marsh's show, but I did want to do Frank's, and I just never got to it. There was just a bunch of stuff going on, and there was some other, you know, I want to do Comics de la Morte, you know, Ronnie Gunther and Jason Alexander's live stream. I didn't get a chance to do that one either. So, which would have been, that one's horror themed, so it would have been probably great to do. But, you know, I just, you know, it's kind of strapped for time. And when you run these Kickstarters, you really have to be really diligent about always putting the word out. And I've done some of that, but, you know, maybe not quite enough to surpass what we kind of did on that first Kickstarter. But like I said, as far as backers go, definitely we've had more backers on this campaign than I have in the past. We're at like 96 backers. So, and I think the most I got, I think in the last one, I think I may have got like 80 something. So we're a little higher than that, and we're beyond what I did on the last Kickstarter. I ran into some issues with the last Kickstarter. It was kind of a weird scenario where, Frank, I mean, Frank, you know, I'm still willing to go on Taraco. I just won't be promoting Young and the Dead. I can promote something else. But yeah, I still would like to get back on the show. So I just didn't get it going on. There's just a lot of stuff going on. So okay, yeah. So Peaches Phillips wants to know, how much books do I have out? Scott, is that your only comic series? It's really the only one available. I mean, kind of, I've done other comics for companies. Right now I'm doing one for the Saudi Arabian government on this new, not smart city, but cognitive region is what they're calling it, that they're building. We started doing one for the Department of Health and Human Services here in the U.S., but then eventually got halfway through with that, and they canceled it, which happens a lot with these government things. But so I've got a lot of other comics and things that I've either wrote or drawn, a lot of stuff like public service type stuff, a lot of, you know, educational things, those type of comics. They're out there, but they're not like things you can necessarily pick up. But really my main comic is Young and the Dead. And I've got now with this Kickstarter, I've got issue number 5. So that's the most recent one. But this is kind of my main comic. And then once issue 6 will be the final one. And after that, I've got another idea for another comic. But like I said, I don't want to focus on that one yet. I want to get the other one finished before I start a new one. All right. So Pete just wants to know if I have any advice for a comic creator like me. The number one bit of advice I've gotten, if you watch my channel, then you probably heard me say this a million times, but start small. Start with even a 4-page or at the most like 8-page mini comic. get that done, and then don't start with your big giant epic comic. Get some stuff done. I mean, get comics out there, even if they're small. Get them out there, show that you can do something, and then gradually next time you make a little bigger comic and a little bigger comic. But sometimes people just, when they're, especially if they're starting out, and I don't know exactly where you are with your comic book process, but if you're just starting out, start small. I mean, even like Christopher, who is in the chat, he does one-page comics. He'll do a page comic, and then he'll do another page comic, and before you know it, he's got, you know, enough to fill up a book with one-page comic. But he can do a comic, one page, and then he's finished with it. It's done. He can hold it up and say, I finished a comic, and then you can add to it and then compile all of those together. So my best bit of advice is just to start small. Don't go crazy, especially if it's your first time out. Just do a small comic, maybe like 4 pages or something like that. And then just build from there. Because also, if you got a big epic, and if you're just starting off, you know, you probably want to improve your skill. And the more small comics you get, the better you'll get. And the more that big epic comic will be when you get to that point. All right. Well, time is ticking, folks. And let's see. We're still about $100 away from everyone getting that stretch goal. So I'm hoping, you know, it's going to be, it looks like it's going to be down to the wire. You'd like to think that Kickstarter would kind of, I know there's a thing you can switch on Kickstarter where you can search stuff by what's running out, or, you know, so you would think Kickstarter, you would like to think that they would kind of promote some of the stuff where the time is running out, you know, but who knows? Like I said, I think my comics get kind of been buried on Kickstarter. So, and maybe not enough naked girls in it, you know. I guess there's not any actually. So my comics take, you know, if there was, maybe it'd do a little better. That seems to be a lot of that on Kickstarter. But you know, my comic, you know, it's about kids. So a lot of people do these variant covers, like the Naughty and Nice variant cover, where they've got one with the character with clothes on it. I am not going to do that with mine, because my heroes are all kids, and yeah, I'm not going to do that. So, but anyway, so won't be doing that. But you know, I still think, you know, with like I know there's got to be a lot of people that are looking for what you might consider all ages. I mean, there are some horror elements. It's kind of got everything. It's got action, it's got horror, it's got humor, you know. And it's got a lot of nostalgia if you're into, like, you know, 80s, you know, movies and stuff like that. So, okay, Marsh has a question. Let's see. And Peaches wants to know, do I have kids? Yes, I have 3 kids. Most of the youngest they're not all kids anymore. My youngest is 16. Or no, I'm sorry. My youngest is actually going to be 18. So she's going to be an adult next month. So I guess I will have all adult children in another month. But I have got 3 kids. I've got 2 boys and a girl. Let's see. And Marge had a question. In issue 6, where there'll be a naked girl, but she's behind a curtain. You know what? Based on where this comic's going, the setting, everything now is going to take place in this secret, you know, kind of the secret lab. Once we get to that location in this issue, we're not going to stray too much from that, except from the epilogue. There'll be an epilogue where we'll see some other locations, and it's all written and everything. I don't think that would happen, but that would have been so. Actually, there is a scene in, I think, the first issue where one of the kids steals one of his dad's Playboys, and you don't really see much. You just kind of see the cover, but there is that. So I guess I could have done, if I would have had the foresight, I could have had that should have been what I did, was draw one of the kids holding up Playboy or like the centerfold, and that could have been my risque cover. Maybe I'll still do that for the next one. We'll see. It's still, I don't know. I mean, I could do that actually. That's not a bad idea. Oh, whoa, we just got another back. We are almost there, folks. We are about, I got to see where we're, I want to just double check and see if it's anyone that I know that backed it. If it's anyone in the chat or anything. Hold on. Let's see where we're at. Oh, Josh, you changed your pledge. Thank you, Josh. I don't know what did you add one of the sketch covers or what did you do? So Josh, I think you're almost put us over the top here. Hold on a second. So yeah, we've got, I think one, I mean, I think this is going to happen because we're like $26 away from hitting our stretch goal. So thank you, Josh. What did you, if you don't mind me asking, what did you pick up? Did you get one of these sketch covers? And you can do that if you're already a backer. If there's some additional things you can add on to your pledge, like variant covers. If you don't have the variant cover, I know Frank changed his pledge earlier. So Frank, let me know what you got too. I'm curious what you added on. But you can go in and you can add sketch cover. And the sketch covers, maybe I should, hold on. Let me switch over to here real quick since we're running out of time. We got 46 minutes to go and $25 to raise, which is totally, I'm pretty positive I'm pretty confident that's going to happen. But let's see here. Wait, I got to share my screen. Hold on. Share screen. Share screen. Okay. All right. All right. Let's see here. Oh, wait. Let me take off Marcia's comment here. Where is that? How do I get rid of that? Oh, here. Okay. All right. Okay, here we go. So I just want to show off some of the variant covers because you can add these to your pledge. If you're already pledging and you're not getting the variant cover bundle, if you haven't added any variant covers onto it, I mean, these are awesome and they're limited quantities. I don't think there's probably not going to be more than 25 printed. So they're going to be super rare and you can add these on for, I think they're like $8 each. So, if we get maybe 3 people adding those on, that would probably put us to where we need for everyone to get the 3D cover. But check this out. So this cover for issue number 5 is done by Russ Leach. I love this design. It's just brilliant. Actually, I had hired an artist, Eric Henson, to do this cover, and he did the rough sketch. And then unfortunately, he had some stuff going on where he couldn't complete the job. So I called up Russ and I was like, "Oh man, I really like this design, but I need a great artist to make it a reality because unfortunately, my other artists had to back out, and Russ did an amazing job with it. So, and the cool thing about these is they're all different. They've all got different logos, they're different looks to them. They're kind of from different eras. This is kind of a more modern take with the layout and everything. Then we got Federica's version, which is there's a 3D version of this is what everyone's going to get if we get another $26, I think. So, but she did this version again, kind of a more modern take. I kind of did some gold key kind of design off to the side on this one. And then let me go down here. And then that's my standard cover, but I want to show all the variant covers because you can add each of these variant covers for $8 to your pledge. This is Gary Hodges. Again, kind of a modern take. He does most of his work in like Illustrator, which is super cool. Not a lot of comic book artists working in Illustrator, but he does an amazing job. And then this is Corey Kerr's version, and we added sort of the kind of 80s, was it Bronze Age? It could have been 70s, might have been 70s that this look, where they had the corner box, but it kind of had the circle and not the rectangle. So we kind of gave it that treatment. So that's number 2. And then, of course, Josh did this one, Young and the Dead number 4 variant cover. So as you can see, let's scroll down through here. You can add any of these. You would just go to adjust your pledge or whatever and add any of these on and get some of those variant covers. And that's sort of a inexpensive way, you know, if you add one of these for $8 to kind of get us a little closer to the goal. But here's the strat. That's what we're trying to get to right now. 3,500 gets everyone that backs at the physical level this these 3D glasses and the 3D print. So I want everyone to get that, especially this close. So let's scroll back up here, and we've done it, folks. We've done it. All right, we have done it. And unfortunately, I had another stretch goal plan, but we're so close, I don't really have time to add it. But let me, oh man. I don't, you know what? I wonder if I can show it. I'm thinking if we can get, I'm thinking here. Oh, this is awesome. Okay. It's almost too easy, and it's kind of a big thing to add, because I'm thinking if we could get 100 backers, I could unveil the next stretch goal. That's 3 more backers, but that's almost for a whole nother stretch goal. That's kind of too easy. They're called stretch goals for a reason, folks. So if we can get 105 backers, and that's not going to be easy. But we can get 105 backers, I will add another stretch goal that everyone will get. All right. And we've only got 41 minutes. So let me see if I can find a picture of it, because I don't have time to add this to the campaign, but let me see if I can find it here on my hard drive and bring it up. Let's see, where are we? I gotta bring up my Photoshop real quick so I can see if I can find it. But oh yeah, I don't want to show this on screen. Let me do this. All right, let me just look. I want to see who might, I don't want to show it on screen, but I want to see who might have backed it. Who put us over the top, if anyone I know. Oh, that's weird. Hold on. It's not letting me click on it for some reason. Here, let me refresh, see if that'll help. All right. Just give me a minute here. Okay. I know this person. I've seen them in the chat. I haven't seen them in this particular chat, so I don't want to mention them. Oh, there he is, Thomas Adams. Thank you, Thomas, for backing. I appreciate that. You definitely put us over the top. So we are now, everyone that backed, you included, because you backed at a physical level, everyone is getting that 3D print. So thank you, Thomas. Let's see. Okay. Let me show you what, if we can get 105 backers total. We're at 97. Oh, we got 97 now. All right, so let me see if I can find this thing so I can show everyone what they can get if we can get. It's not going to be too easy because we don't have a whole lot of time, but I think it's doable. And this is just backers. This isn't money-wise, so people can back it like a digital level and maybe make this happen. Of course, you won't be getting it if you back at the digital level because it's going to be another printed thing. But hold on, let me find this. Give me a minute. I know you guys can't see what I'm doing here. I'm kind of behind the scenes here. Let me find my Kickstarter folder. Okay. I'm kind of doing some adjustment here. Well, maybe, hold on a second. Where is that? Prints. Oh, that's a PDF. Okay, hold on. Okay. Oh, no, not that. Hold on. Sorry, everyone. I'm trying to do something here. I'm kind of running out of time. I don't know why opening. I was trying to open this thing, but open in grayscale. Hold on. I'm going to try another one. No. Hold on. Come on. Let's see. Peaches wants to know, did I hit my goal? Yes, we hit the 20. We hit the goal. Now everyone that's backed at the physical level gets the 3D print, but we're setting another goal, because I had another stretch goal that I'm kind of adjusting. We're going to try to see if we can get 105 backers before this thing ends, and then if that happens, everyone gets another stretch goal, because I'm being generous today. Because let's see. Is this it? Let me see. Is this the one? Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay, folks. All right. Let me show this. Share screen. Okay. Can everyone see this? So if we hit 105 backers before the campaign ends, everyone that backs at the physical level is getting this. It is going to be printed on a glossy paper. So you can use like a what do you call it? A dry erase marker. And it's just a little guide. It's this little guide that you can keep, and like so you can change the day every day. You can update it. Like if you're in a zombie apocalypse, the number of people in your party, you can mark that down. Who has been added to your party, who is recently deceased, personal inventory, all the things that you've got in your personal inventory, the kind of zombies you've spotted, confirmed kills, your arsenal, any safe zones you've recommended, and it's got, a little Young and the Dead. So this is a print. It'll be about the same size as a standard comic book, this print, and it'll be on glossy paper, and you will be able to mark all this stuff down. So, like, again, last minute thing, since we hit that other stretch goal, this is a real quick stretch goal I'm adding, and in order for everyone to get this, we need to get 105 backers. All right. So I don't know, it's kind of a stretch, but again, that's what stretch goals are. So the good thing is everyone's getting the 3D print, but if we can hit 105 backers before in 36 minutes, then everyone that backs at the physical level is going to. Now this is a hard one, because I know to make this one go over the top, a lot of people added to their pledge. Unfortunately, that's not going to work for this stretch goal, because we need backers. We need new backers. So even if you're backing, like I said, even if you're backing at like the $5 level with the, I think is it 5 or 10? I'm trying to remember. It might be 10 for the single digital copy. Unfortunately, you wouldn't be getting the extra, but you'd be helping other people that are backing at physical levels to get that shipped, that other, print shipped with their stuff. So like I said, if we get 100 and 105 backers, we'll do that. Okay, let's get back to the sketching. Okay, there we go. Okay, and then, okay, there we go. All right, back to the drawing. I'm super excited, guys. Again, thank you everyone, especially Thomas, who kind of put us over over the top with that, hitting our stretch goal. We got somebody else in the chat. We got Real Artworks in the chat. Happy for you, love your art. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm very happy now. It was kind of close that I really wanted everyone to get that 3D print. So I'm super excited that happened. So, like I said, I mean, there's still, we can bring this up. We need, what are backers? Okay. So Peaches, this is all for the Kickstarter campaign. So Kickstarter is, it's a platform that allows you to raise money to fund your comic or whatever project. For me, it's a comic. If you go to youngandthedead.com, then you can go there and you can click on back this project. You pick what tier you want. You can back like a single digital comic, or there's all kinds of different tiers. You select what you want. Anyone that contributes to that campaign is considered a backer. So right now we have 97 backers. If we get to 105 backers before this project, before it ends in 33 minutes, half an hour, then everyone that backs at a physical level, which means you're getting a physical, like a printed comic book. I can't do it for digital because it's a printed thing, because then I would have to pay. Because the other thing I want everyone to know is that unlike a lot of campaigns, the shipping is, if you're in the US, the shipping's free. I'm not charging any extra for shipping. If you're international, Unfortunately, I can't do free shipping because it's too expensive for me, but I am adding a bunch of extras. So while you have to pay $25 to ship if you're international, like somebody like Christopher, who's in Canada, he's going to have to pay, $25 or whatever. But there's extra. I've added $30 worth of extra stuff, so it's almost like you're getting that in return. Because if I can add prints to that package, and it's not going to make it weigh a whole lot more, and stickers and things like that, and it'll add value to it, but it won't cost me a lot. So that's the only way I can get around that crazy shipping fee. So hopefully that answers your question. As far as the other question on how did I get into drawing? Okay, let's see. I've been drawing since I'm okay. Right now, full disclosure, I'm 50 years old. Or I'm sorry, I'm 51. I forgot to add that extra year on there. So I've been drawing for a long time, since I was a little kid. And the first memory I have of when I started drawing was I used to take coloring books. There used to be the kind of comic books that I do, where there's kind of these public service announcement coloring books, but I do comic books. That's one of the niches that I'm in. But I would get like these, like back in the day, they had this thing called Stop, Drop, and Roll. I assume they still have it, but it's like fire safety or whatever. The schools or whatever, or preschools or whatever, they would give out these little coloring books, and they would teach you things on either fire safety or whatever. And to me, those are kind of boring. So I was into superheroes. So I would take the average everyday person that were in these comic books, and then I would add like a Batman cowl, or this was back, we were watching reruns of the 60s Batman, back then, or Super Friends. So I would take just regular people and on these coloring books, and I would start drawing, making them Batman or Robin or whatever. That was my sort of earliest memory of starting to learn how to draw. So I appreciate that. Yeah, hopefully I do. People do tell me I look young for my age, so that is nice. Thank you. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But yeah, that's how I got started drawing. So, all right, where are we? Like I said, I'm taking my time with this one, but we may finish this before the end of the stream. And again, all these, a lot of these are still available. I think it's $75 for one of these sketch covers if you want to add it to your pledge. Let's see. Got to have the kind of proton stream going on here. I remember I was a little too old. My brother had them though, but the Ghostbusters toys, and they had like these little things you could add on to they were Kenners, so they're kind of like the lightsabers. They're a little fragile, but you could add the little whips at the end of the action figures, and they'd spin around. It was I remember that being kind of a cool effect. Let's see. Oh, I'm thirsty. So if anyone has just joined, if you want to definitely check out, there's that thing running at the bottom. If you click on youngandthedead.com, we're getting really close to closing out the campaign. We're just a little less than a half hour from finishing, and I've made a new stretch. We just hit one stretch goal. I kind of impromptu did another stretch goal that if we hit 105 backers, so we need, we just need a few more backers, really, and then everyone gets another stretch goal. So we'll see if we can make that one happen. But overall, I'm just happy we hit the one. So thank you to everyone that made that happen. So the Young and the Dead are about standard size. So they're like, I think 21 or 22 pages each. Next issue will be a little bit bigger because there's a lot that we need to wrap up, because the next issue will be the last issue. But typically they're standard floppy comic size, 21 or 22 issues. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, it's going to be so tomorrow I'm definitely going to go through, you know, look at all the back, try to start figuring out this stuff, because I definitely want to start getting this stuff out, because get the books, you know, figure out how many books we need to get printed. So when I get paid from Kickstarter, I can, you know, pay whatever we need to have the books printed. Of course, you know, there's additional funds that for the, you know, shipping and all that kind of stuff, which isn't cheap, because like I said, I'm covering the shipping for you guys. So that I will be covering. There's no, if you're in the US anyway. So all right, I think we're close. I'm just going to go ahead and add spot some blacks in here. Need to do the glove. Put a little sheen on this glove. I don't want to waste this. Do I have? I wonder. Let's see what I have here. I think I've got a brush pencil. Yeah, I've got a brush pen here, a thick one that I can color this in with. We are going to have to let that dry. I can hear outside the rain. It sounds like it's picking up quite a bit. Yeah, I might, after this happens, I might just step outside and just take in some of that fresh, rainy air when I wrap up this thing and celebrate. That sounds like a good way to celebrate to me. But I purposely set this campaign so where I am right now, it's like 9:30. So I wanted to wrap up at 10, because I didn't want to be up too late with this on the Friday. I wanted to, you know, I definitely didn't want it to go till midnight. I didn't want it to go all the way to midnight. So I figured I'd wrap the project up at 10 and do this live stream. So from the beginning, I had planned to kind of do this. So. But I don't know. I feel like I don't have to shill as much anymore now that we've kind of hit that stretch goal. But what the heck, you know, we do still have 25 minutes to go. I don't know if it's possible to hit that 105, but if we get a few more backers, then everyone's going to get that zombie survival chart. Just in case, you never know. You never know when a zombie apocalypse might break out. You may need it. Then of course we're going to need some definition here on the proton gun. I still don't know if you call it a proton gun. What do you call it? Anyone a Ghostbusters expert that knows what you call these things? I know it's a proton pack, but I don't know what the kind of gun part is called. Oh, and the patch is black. And then probably the strap is not black, or part of it is. This part's black. Add a little black in here. Also, we got another Canadian. So Peach is in Canada as well. So yeah, it says you say it's 12:32 a.m. So thanks for staying up late. Let's see, when did I make my? Okay, so that one is that was a little embarrassing because I've been working on this for a while. I can't even remember when I started the first issue, but this is sort of it's kind of my passion project. I kind of work on it when I get a chance. I only work on it, like when I do work on it, it's usually like maybe an hour a day, and then it just adds up. I've got unfortunately, other than I will make some money off of the Kickstarter after I pay for the printing and all that kind of stuff. So, and I'll get some additional copies of it that I can sell in the future. So there is some money, but it's not a huge money earner. It's not like some of the comics I'm doing for clients and things like that. But so it's because it's not like a huge money earner. It's just kind of, I kind of do it when I can get to it. You know, I've got to kind of focus on stuff that keep the lights on and stuff. So if I could make this thing sustainable enough where I could just do the comic, I'd love that. But, you know, I also like to do YouTube videos and stuff like that, and that takes some time. And so, all right. Got that. Let's do black under the eye. Black in here. Yeah, we all know Canada. We all know Frank's fondness for Canada. I'm curious, Frank, where that came from. Have you ever been to Canada? Just because I know you've got a character that you've designed that's a Canadian character and everything. I'm just curious what your fascination with Canada is. I mean, if you've been there, then yeah, I could see that. Because I mean, but. Or maybe, like you said, maybe you're just a fan of maple syrup, and you want to go to the home of maple syrup. All right. All right, we got 20 minutes to go. Oh, we got somebody new in the chat. Let's see. Toad Soup. I appreciate all the videos you've put out. I bet. Oh, thank you so much for backing. Yeah, it's hard to tell with screen names who's, you know, if you've got a screen name, who's who and all that stuff. But I do appreciate everyone that's backed the project and everything. And depending on, you know, what level you backed at, if you have backed at a physical level, we did just hit that stretch goal. So everyone is getting the 3D print, which I'm so excited that everyone's going to get. All right, so I'm going to let this dry. It hopefully it won't take too long. Maybe we should add a little more to it here. Oh, before I do that, I guess I get to sign it home. Do I have a? Yeah, here's a micron. And again, just to reiterate, since I'm drawing this thing right now, if you want to own this and you've got an extra $75 in your pocket and you have backed at a physical level already, you will be able to add this. It's not done yet. I'm going to add the color to it. So it'll look like, or if you want the Mr. T, there's an add-on for the Mr. T zombie and also an add-on for the Terminator zombie. So if you want any one of these in particular, there are add-ons for those. And that would just get us, you know, put a little more into the, you know, into the funding goal. So, because we haven't quite topped my first Kickstarter. We'd have to make, I think, another maybe $250 or something like that to surpass what I made on my first Kickstarter. But the ironic thing is we've got way more backers this time around. So I don't know what that's all about. Maybe we just must have had some big money backers on the first one. You know, I don't know what that's about because we didn't have as many backers, but all right. I got this quick doodling on this thing so I can let this dry. So let's switch over to a remark. I don't think I'll get this done. So another tier, there's still some there are still these remark tiers available. They're the early bird, which never they never got all taken. So I don't know if they just weren't that popular or what. Like I said, these are super popular when I do signings, these remarks with comic collectors, but maybe not with the Kickstarter crowd. So I don't know. I mean, I've there's a few people that backed at this level. So I know I still have to do more of them because I don't have enough of them. But it's just kind of a fun little gimmick. I gotta find my regular pencil. All right. And I'm just doing, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but I'm doing these they're basically like ice cream pop zombies as remarks for these. So, all right, let's see. So I'm just going to start with the eye. I don't want to go too detailed on these because, it's supposed to be, a pop, like an ice cream pop. So, and with these ones, I do like to put in the white, the pupils for whatever reason. Is to make them. I want these to be a little more goofy, and typically they're typically gumballs if you get an ice cream, so they're kind of fun to draw in there. We'll do this. So what can we do? Let's make sort of his brain on this side this time, and we want to put that sort of that outline on the side here because it's got to have some dimensions to it. One giant ear here, so he's going to have the. Oh, but I haven't. Well, maybe that wouldn't work for popsicle. Sometimes I like to draw like a maggot coming out or something like that, or worms. But I don't know how you would. That probably wouldn't make sense because they wouldn't have anything small like that on a popsicle. So Peaches wants to know. Oh, we got a few questions. Christopher says, wait until Frank discovers back bacon and crepes. So is back bacon, is that like, what is that? I'm trying to think. I made this like Asian dish. It's like thick, almost like thick bacon. It was, I'm trying to remember what that was called. It might've been called back bacon. I don't know, but that sounds pretty good. And Frank says back bacon and crepes. What is that and where can I get that? All right. And then Peaches wants to know, who is your favorite character in your book? And if you can pick one or two of your characters to hang out with in real life, who would they be? Oh, that's a good question. So I think my two favorite characters are these two. I'm holding up these two, right? This one here, Lloyd. He's sort of this D&D kind of nerdy guy. If you watch the recent version of Stranger Things, and I created this guy way before, especially the recent version of Stranger Things, but even before Stranger Things, but a little bit like I wouldn't say he's like Eddie Munson. He's kind of like him. He's into D&D and he's into heavy metal and stuff like that. Little bit different character, but he has some of the same interests. But the thing with him, he's a bit of a nerd, kind of a nerdy guy. He's into all that nerdy stuff. Back in the 80s, that was not cool, even though now, it's not that uncool to be into D&D and all that stuff. But he knows all about, and he knows about horror comics and horror movies and stuff. So he knows about zombies and all that stuff. So even though he's kind of, he's not one of the cool kids, but when the zombie apocalypse happens, he's kind of prepared because he knows what zombies are. He knows how to fight them. He makes zombie fighting weapons in wood shop and stuff. So he's got like a Thor's hammer made out of wood that he uses to get zombies. So there's that character. And then this character of who's Oksana, who's a tomboy. And she's really good because she's just like, just real tough and everything. And just, just a fun character and kind of mouse off to some of the other kids and stuff like that. So those are probably my two favorite characters. So those are probably the ones I'd like to hang out with. The main character is sort of based loosely on myself when I was that age, and this younger character, the brother, is loosely based on my brother. This character was loosely based on my best friend growing up. So, you know, and then these two characters are sort of based on a number of different people that I kind of combined together. All right, let's see. Okay, lapyak is known as Chinese bacon. It's made from pork. That's what I was talking about, pork belly. Yes, Cisco Ponch 67 said that. Yeah, pork belly. So what did I do? I'm trying to remember what I made with the pork belly. But it was good. Yeah, maybe it was just, yeah, I'm trying to remember. But it was like I got it at the Asian market, and oh, it was really good. And yeah, that's well, I didn't we didn't use like the cinnamon and the star anise, but man, I'm trying to remember what the recipe called. I think I was doing something because I was making dim sum. It was my girlfriend's birthday, and I was making dim sum, and that may have been. I must have done something with the pork belly, because my girlfriend loves dim sum. So I figured out how to make it myself, and it was like one of the hardest things to do because it was, you know, all these different things. I went and bought 2 steamers, and I made the mung bean balls. I made what else did I make? I made the red bean bao. I made like shuma. I made all that stuff. You know, it pretty much took me the whole day to put all that stuff together. So, but it was she loved it though, so it was cool. All right, let's see. I'll just do a little more on here. I know you guys can't see it because it's maybe if I turn down the exposure, you can see a little. That's up. Nah, it's a little hard. I think I can switch back to my. I think this might be dry by now. I can start erasing here. All right. And usually I can tell if it smudges when I'm erasing, then it's not totally dry. But it looks like it's dry enough where I can go ahead and I can start adding some of the color, which is just going to be a grayscale. Like, again, I'll show you an example. I'll show some other ones. We got this punk rocker one. So it's kind of, you kind of use this grayscale technique. There's another one, Say Anything. Oh, this one's cool. The LL Cool J. These are all 80s themed zombies. So, and then we got this aerobicize one zombie. All right. So let me hear. All right, we've got 10 minutes to go in the campaign, folks. I don't know if we're going to hit that next stretch goal, but that was kind of an impromptu thing. You know, I just figured give us a little something extra to shoot for. But we did hit the 1, which is awesome. We did hit, so everyone's going to get that 3D print that's back into the physical level. So thank you, everyone. I mean, there are definitely people in the chat were the ones that kind of made that happen. So I noticed the people that did back that were in the chat. So thank you. And like I said, I'm just super excited. I just want to get these comics out to you. So let's see. So do I read manga? I don't read a lot of manga, but I'm somewhat inspired by kind of manga. I don't know if you would put it as like one of my favorite artists. There's a lot of artists that are sort of manga influenced, but a little more Americanized. Like I like Sean Galloway. I've got some of his books that he's put out. Cheeks, if you're familiar with him, he's sort of an Americanized version of manga, a little more animated. Also, Guri Huru, they're I think a team of artists. They do a lot of the Avatar comics, The Last Airbender. I love their stuff. And you know, my comics, I love black and white because a lot of manga is black and white. As you can see, my comics in black and white. So there's that. I don't know. As far as I honestly, there's not a lot of titles in general that I read nowadays. I'll pick up every once in a while. I started reading Scotty Young's Twig, which is, I think, like a 5-issue miniseries. started reading that recently, and I'm collecting, I think, the Stranger Things book, but I don't find a lot of time to read comics. I'll read like indie stuff. Like if I back a Kickstarter and I get the book, I usually typically read that, or friends of mine who put out books, I'll read those, but I haven't read, there's not a lot of manga. I mean, the other thing about manga is there's just a time investment because they just go on and on forever, but, and then anime, let's see. I watched Death Note, which I really liked. I know it's sort of an older one. I don't watch a ton of anime, but unless you consider, again, Avatar, that's not really, I don't know if that would be considered anime or not, but I have influences from all kinds of things, in the comics world. A lot of young adult stuff I'll pick up because, that's kind of, let me turn this exposure down. It's pretty bright. That's better. All right. I do really dig this camera, though. All right, so let's see. Let's get started here. We definitely want to finish this up as we. Oh, didn't need to do that as we wrap up the campaign. Actually, before I forget, I always forget to do the. I'm going to do this first, the logo, because I want to add a little gradient here. Do I like Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle? Now, is Rise, I know there's a recent series that just came out. I was there when Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles first came out, before it was even a cartoon and everything, and I was a fan of that. My brother, who's a little younger than me, he actually went for Halloween. He went as a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle before the cartoon, before most people even knew, unless you're a hardcore comic book fan, you wouldn't even have known what a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle was. And he made his own costume. He went out trick-or-treating. No one knew who he was. That's how they just weren't popular. And then the next year, I think it was either a year or a year later, every single kid was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. So he's a little ahead of the game. But yeah, we were familiar with the comic books way before, they were a cartoon or become toys or super popular and everything. But I know there's is that Zombie Smoke? So yeah, so he, this is based on Ghostbusters. So it's a Ghostbusters zombie. So there's a scene in Ghostbusters where Ray Stantz has got the cigarette in his mouth and he sees a ghost and he's just standing like in awe, and the cigarette is just kind of stuck to his bottom lip. So that's kind of what this is an homage to. I'm not like endorsing smoking or anything, but it's definitely in the movie. So that's kind of what this is too. And he's got the goggles here and everything. So. But so I'm not sure, is Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja, is that the latest series that came out? Because my friend Eric Henson, he did 4 variant covers of each of the brothers, the Turtles. And you can get them through surprisecomics.com. That's my local comic book store. They did their, exclusive variants, and they're awesome looking, So I'm probably going to have to get some of those, although those probably kind of pricey because they're super limited, but yeah, I'll probably have to get one. I don't know if I can afford to get all 4 of them, but he does amazing variant covers. So he's one of the artists that I was going to have to do a variant cover on mine. And then unfortunately he had some family stuff go on that he couldn't complete it, but. Oh, we got 3 minutes to go. All right, so I got to keep my eye on that because we'll watch it click down. We're still at just past our stretch goal, so we haven't picked up any backers late. So I don't think we're gonna hit that next stretch goal, but we did hit the one, which is awesome. That was my goal with this live stream, is that we could just hit that. That would be awesome. So we will watch we'll kind of watch the thing conclude, and then I'll just come back, and before I go, I'll wrap up this cover. And then since it doesn't look like anyone's going to pick up add this cover onto their pledge, it may just get included in maybe somebody that already backed at one of these levels for the sketch cover might get this one. We'll see which one we include. I haven't really decided that yet. Like I said, I may give people an option. Like I'll pick, give them a choice. Like, what's your number one sketch cover you want to get, and number two, number three, and then try to make it, see if everyone can get the one they want the most. So I think I can do that with the what do you call it, when the questionnaire that I send out. Okay, yeah. So yeah, so you say you're a TMNT mega fan. Any questions? Yeah, let me know. So which one is Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Is that an animation? Is that a comic? I'm not sure which iteration that is in particular. All right, while I'm doing that, I think I can pull up, hold on. So I definitely, we're getting close to a minute going on this thing. Yeah, here we're counting down now. So let me share the screen here. And we'll just watch this thing count down. So who knows if we get any additional backers, but we have reached our stretch goal. So that's awesome. We've got 97 backers, which is cool. I am just elated that we hit that, and by the skin of our teeth too, because we're not much higher than that, any less than that, and we would not have hit it. So thank you again, everyone. And I will finish up the sketch before I go, even after we run through it. But the whole idea of this stream, I just wanted to celebrate this and run through it. And I've never done I don't think I've done too many live streams on Friday nights. So probably get a little more people watching just because it is the weekend, so people can tend to stay up later. Now we're in the red, 56 minutes. I wonder if it's going to happen. I wonder if we get like some fireworks or something when we get down to, I don't know if I've watched any. I assume they'll do something, 42. Oh, man, we're getting there. Rise of the New Nick show. Okay, so I don't have Nickelodeon unless it comes on something like a Hulu or something. I probably won't get to watch it like right away, but I'll definitely, I've seen some of the stuff. I've seen some of the more recent animation. Looks pretty cool. So, all right, here we go. I'll start counting down when we hit the 10. All right, here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh yeah, we do get the fireworks. All right, yes, and we've done it, folks. Thank you, everyone. We have run a successful Kickstarter. We hit that stretch goal, and now everyone is going to get whatever you backed at. Plus, if you're at a physical level, you're going to get this. You're going to get the 3D print. So my next day tomorrow, I'm going to go through the campaign. I'm going to start, now that everything's finalized, I'm going to see, how many books we need, get all that ready. So usually think it takes about 2 weeks to get the funds from Kickstarter. And once I get that, we're sending the stuff out to print, and I got to go to a couple different printers. I got a printer for the comic books, and then another printer that's going to do like the 3D print and all that stuff. It may take, it could take, well, the last time I had a comic book print, I think it took 2 or 3, 3 or 4 weeks actually. So, but like I said, most people are used to waiting a long time to get their Kickstarter rewards. I don't really think you guys are going to have to wait that long. So I'm really, all my Kickstarters I've delivered ahead of schedule, even though right now I'm like super busy, but I'm definitely going to make this a priority because I want to get this out to you. Because also the sooner that I get this out to you guys, the sooner I could start anytime, but I want to get this thing funded so I can, that way, it is funded, but I want to get this thing out to everyone and the Kickstarter complete. And oh, also, just before I forget, I know if you backed at a digital level, you are going to have to wait a little bit, just because I don't want the digital comics to go out before people get their physical stuff. So I'll probably put them out at the same time, and I'll just say, your physical books are coming. So if you want to read the physical book, don't read the digital one yet. But I don't want to put the digital out too much in advance before everyone gets their physical copy. So they'll go out pretty close to the same time, even though I don't have to wait to print the digital stuff, and I don't have to wait to get the funds for the digital stuff. So, but I still want to send them out kind of around the same time. So cool. All right. Let's see. All right, let's get back to the drawing then. Again, I just want to thank everyone. Oh, we don't get our countdown. I guess it's complete. Well, I guess I could take the banner off because can't really back it anymore. And I got to remember to go onto Facebook and all these other places and take all my banners and things off. All right, let's get back to the drawing. We'll finish this up. All right, so it's sad. I'm just looking back. 97 backers have pledged $3,504 to help bring this project to life. And so it is going to happen. All right, let's wrap this thing up. I can't see the chat. I got it. Oh, where's the chat at? Okay, back to the chat. All right. All right. Okay, so who knows if you did back at a sketch level, sketch cover level, you may be getting this particular sketch. We'll see. I think I'll try to give people an option. I'll just list. I'll say, whether it's Mr. T Zombie, whether it's Ghostbusters Zombie, whether it's Footloose Zombie, Workout Zombie, LL Cool J Zombie, Punk Zombie. I'll let those people that backed at those levels, they can just say, oh, this is my number one choice or whatever, number two choice, and we'll try to get them, if we can, get them what they want. Some people may want the same one, and then we'll have people fighting over it. I didn't want to make it too difficult. I definitely didn't want to do custom ones because sometimes it's difficult, because especially if you get a lot of them, you gotta wait to see what they want. Sometimes they don't know what they want, and then sometimes people ask for really crazy stuff. So I just wanted to do whatever design I wanted to do, but I also like the idea of giving people an option to decide, which one they like. So let's see. All right. Cool. Oh, that's a good one. Kool-Aid Zombie. I know Kool-Aid's not specific to the 80s. I mean, it's been around for a while, but yeah, most of these are like 80s things, but it was around in the 80s. So I wonder if I'm trying to think if I've ever done a Kool-Aid Zombie. That seems like something I would have done, actually. I know I've drawn the Kool-Aid Man before, but I don't think I've drawn a zombie version of him. Oh, wait. So Nick says the Rise movie does good on Netflix. They will review. Okay. Oh, so yeah. So usually a lot of the shows, I just didn't know how recent it was. If it's been out for a few seasons, then it probably is on Netflix. I think Netflix. Yeah, Netflix must have a deal with Nickelodeon, because I think they have like Avatar, and they're working on a new live action Avatar live action Avatar series, The Last Airbender, not the James Cameron one. But that's coming out too, the James Cameron Avatar in the theaters. But yeah, so I'm guessing there's probably would be some on Netflix Ninja Turtles, and if there's more than one season of that, it's probably on there. So I'll have to check it out. That sounds like a good thing that I could probably watch while I'm drawing, And let's get the streams here. Where do I buy drawing equipment? Honestly, nowadays, usually Amazon. sometimes like jet pens or something like that. It just kind of depends if there's certain things I can't find. I used to have a art store. It's still, I mean, it's still here, but it's not close to me. There used to be a smaller store, but they closed. But in Arizona, there's a place called Arizona Art Supply that has a lot of stuff. I used to get stuff from there. But nowadays, a lot of times it's just online, whether it's Amazon or I used to get some stuff at Michael's, but I don't like Michael's anymore because the last time I went there, I just wanted to get some Sharpies. And for a $4 pack of Sharpies, they had it behind a glass door that I had to ask somebody for. And I'm like, I'm not going to do that for a pair of Sharpies. And that's the last time I'm going to go to Michael's, because I don't feel like tracking that in a place that's, understaffed, track down an employee and have them and wait for them to come with a key to open a thing so I can get a $4 pack of Sharpies. So I was like, nope, I'm done with Michael's. This does not seem like a good, I know they're trying to curb theft and stuff, but I don't know how many people are just going to stop shopping there. I don't think that was a wise business decision. So anyway, yeah, they had Sharpies behind the glass. I mean, I can understand the big ticket items, but for something like, I mean, that's just ridiculous. I just think, yeah, they may have a couple people stealing Sharpies, but how much business are you going to lose by people that just don't want to deal with that? Because it's a hassle. I mean, you can never find the person working there. And like I said, it's not the people's working there's fault, but places are understaffed and, and they've got other things. And I know they don't want to have to go do all that. So it's not like, it's not something, it's not a decision the employees want. I'm sure they would be happy with them being open so people can pick them up themselves. But so, yeah, I don't really shop at Michael's anymore. And they're not really art store. They're more like a craft store with a couple art supplies. Like they've got 50 aisles of crafts and one aisle of art supplies. So I was never a huge fan of Michael's, but it was, it could be convenient. Copics, I can kind of see maybe being behind the glass because those are pretty expensive, but not Sharpies, Like I understand it, okay, but it gets ridiculous when Sharpies are like the cheapest things, they're pretty cheap and you can get them anywhere. It just doesn't make sense to me to make people want to track an employee down to open a case to get a three or four pack of or 2 pack of Sharpies or whatever it is. Let's see. Okay, I think that those questions are talking amongst themselves, I think, in the chat. We're getting close. Let me see. What's the darkest one I have? Yeah. Let me go in here. Okay, I think that, oh yeah, and then I got it, let's see. Let me find, oh, I know what I forgot to do. I find the right color here. Some of these are drying up, I see. Might have to order some new ones. Let me try this one. That's too dark. Let me try this one. All right, so I'm going to get a little gradient here. May not be the exact right color, but It'll probably work. I do like these sketch covers. So I got these printed from Comics Wellspring, who is a print-on-demand company, and I was a little nervous about the sketch covers because I've done sketch covers on even some Marvel, or not Marvel. Marvel's fine, DC's fine, but like I think Dynamite and Boom, and I was not happy with it. I mean, one of them, like the Dynamite sketch cover, was like this glossy cover that was impossible to draw on. So, where in the world do I live? I live in the United States. I live in Arizona. Let's see. All right, I got that. Now just a little background. Not that color. I don't think that's the color I want. Oh, that's too dark. Okay, let's gotta fix that here. Let's do a little, just a little bit on the side here. I was trying to make mistakes look like they were intentional here. There's a super light marker. I think it's this one, GY6 and GY7, but they're kind of, I think they're running out here. This one seems like it's got some juice in it. So yeah, it's a little more yellow, but I think that'll help them pop out. So I'm just gonna do like a little Kirby crackle right here. I like to do that in the background. And for anyone that's not familiar with Kirby, what Kirby Crackle is, it's popularized by Jack Kirby. It's just kind of this cosmic little dots he puts. It's just a really cool effect that I always like to steal from him and do these. Okay, and last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to get my Molotow paint markers out. And I'm going to just pop them out a little bit. Do a little white outline around it. That'll help kind of pop the character out. All right, we got somebody new in the chat, Blue301. Yeah, we're getting close to wrapping this thing up. We were just running, we were doing a little kind of wrap-up party for the Kickstarter with Just Funded. So yeah, we hit our stretch goal, so pretty excited about that. And this is one of the sketch covers that I'm doing that may go to one of the backers. Or who knows, maybe I'll just keep this one, we'll see. Or maybe some of these I can put up on my website. All right, so, and then let's do a little, I don't know. I think that'll probably do it. So yet another sketch cover. So I'll just kind of show some of these different sketch covers off here before we go. But yeah, we've wrapped everything up. So again, these are all 80s themed. We've got the Ghostbuster one. We've got the Footloose zombie, the Mr. T zombie, the Terminator zombie. Oh, that one's blank. Okay. The Aerobicide zombie, the LL Cool J zombie, the punk rock zombie, and the Say Anything zombie cover. So some lucky backers are going to get these. I don't say it's lucky because it's not like it was a contest or anything. They actually backed at that level, so they know what pretty much know what they're getting. They may not know the exact cover they're getting, but I may give them a choice to do that. So again, let's. I mean, we've already kind of wrapped up the project, but I'll just kind of pull this up on screen one more time to thank everyone. Thank you again for making this happen. And we just minutes ago, we closed out and we had 97 backers and we raised $3,504 to bring the project to life. And just a lot of cool stuff that people are going to get. And I can't wait to start sending these out. I will send out tomorrow. I'm going to send out an update and let everyone know, yes, we funded. I think you may have already got an email saying that we funded if you back the project. But kind of let people know, what's next as far as me getting things ready. And I will keep you guys posted on, if you did back the project, you will get posted on when, on where we are at every stage, when we get what the plans are, when I get the funding, when stuff goes out to print, and then you'll get those surveys that I'm going to send out. And then of course, the sooner you send out those surveys, the sooner you'll be able to get the books and everything and all the extras. And again, I'm just super excited. Everyone is going to get the 3D print, because that was, and you guys in the chat, I don't know if everyone is still here, but I know Thomas kind of put us over the top. I know Josh upped his pledge. I know earlier Frank added to his pledge. So thank you, everyone. You guys made this happen, and in return, you're going to get something cool, because I think you're really going to like that 3D print. It's going to be super fun. I had fun. I want to say designing it. I didn't do the artwork. That was Federica who did the illustration, but I did take it and kind of gave it the 3D treatment and everything. So that's going to be super cool. But I did do the artwork in the book itself. So the interiors and everything, the cover that you're seeing here, I did that one. That's not actually, I kind of like this. I'm always thinking I should have made that the cover of the book, because I like this drawing. I wish I would have done that. Anyway, but maybe I'll use that for something else. I would like, maybe in a future issue, if we ever put this together in a trade, get some other artwork, some other fan art and stuff, and have like a little area in the back of the book that would have all that. But that's for the future. We're kind of getting ahead of ourselves. We finally got the 5th issue done and ready to go. So again, thank you to everyone who backed the project. Thank you, everyone who maybe you couldn't back the project, maybe you were in a position to, but you shared it out. That's just as good, because that helps get the word out and gets other people to back and everything. But I am just super excited that we've done it, and super excited to get these books out to everyone and the extras and stuff. So thanks again. I've got another video coming out Monday. You won't have to hear me talking about the Kickstarter anymore, because it'll be done. So that video will come out. In that video, I'm going to talk a little bit about AI generated art. Or if you're a patron like Frank, I know is one of my patrons. That's already up on Patreon, so you can watch that video in advance. I put all my videos out usually about 4 or 5 days at least, I think maybe 3 or 4 days before they go out on YouTube. So that video should be fun. So I'm trying to see what's going on in the chat. I see Daredevil, Evil Knievel. Are those suggestions for covers, or is that just? I'm not sure if that's in regard to. Kingpin has a bowling movie. You say, okay. Oh, yeah, I get it. All right. I'll just answer. I've got one more question here. Let me throw this up. If a company came to you and asked you, "Hey, Scotty boy, let's make a movie or a show about your comic," would you say yes or no? Oh, I would definitely say yes. I've actually had 1 or 2 people that nothing even close to. I know one person who does animation at Netflix. He's kind of offhandedly mentioned, if he gets further in with Netflix, he may pitch it. I don't know. That's nothing I'm really pursuing, but it's out there. It's a possibility. I I had another friend mention, again, offhandedly, that they know somebody at Netflix. I don't know. The thing is, it's so, I don't like to hang my hopes up on those things, because if it happens, great. But long time ago, I created a children's show. We had it optioned by a Hollywood studio, and everything. And there's so many stages that goes into it, and it just never happened. We shot a pilot. We had a pilot of it and everything. And it was super cool. I wrote it. I got to direct it, and not direct it, but art direct it, and all that stuff. And I, again, I created it. And I had a co-creator who was kind of the financial backing behind it and everything. And like I said, we got it to be, we got the pilot shot and all that kind of stuff. And then it just the option ran out and nothing ever happened with it. So those things there, it's almost next to impossible it's a really hard to get, a show or whatever on Netflix or whatever. So, but who knows, it's possible or whatever. So I would like, I'd like to see that happen. I would like, hopefully, if it ever did happen, that I would have some say in it and it would be true to my story. But, a lot of times I wouldn't be even so, I wouldn't be so against somebody adding, even if they had to add their own spin on it, because to me, they're just ideas, and the comic will always be the comic. The comic's not going to change. So even if they took liberties and made some changes with it, and maybe they make changes for the better, I would still I'd be happy to see that happen, because I've got other ideas. And if my one idea isn't realized exactly the way I want, I kind of onto another idea. So yeah, I would definitely be open to that, but it's not something I'm hoping for or looking for. It's just it'd be nice if it did happen, but that's not my goal. My goal is to make comics. It's not some people's goal in making comics is they purposely make comics because it's a way to get your IP out there easily, cheaply, instead of producing a pilot or something like that. They just do a comic, but their intention is to make a television show. That's not my intention. That'd be nice, but my intention is just to make comics. So. But you know what? I am losing my voice, so I'm gonna close out the chat. Again, thank you, everyone. I'll follow up tomorrow with an update on the Kickstarter campaign, letting everyone know where we're going from here. But I just can't thank you guys enough for being here, watching me stream, for backing the project, and yeah, thanks for making it happen. I will see at least some of you guys later. I did see a lot of new faces here in the chat. So, if you're not familiar with my channel, if you kind of stumbled upon it, check out some of the content. If you're a comic book creator, there are tons of, I got a whole series, Making Comics 101. There's a playlist. It'll take you every step of the process making comics. It's all free on YouTube. I talk a lot about just being an artist, making a living in art. So a lot of great information there. If you're new to the channel, check it out and consider subscribing if you haven't already. But yeah, it's really cool to see new faces and everything. So, and don't be a stranger. Feel free to pop in chats or in the comment section. I try to, lately it's been taking me a little while to get to my comments on my YouTube videos, but I try to get to every comment. So just know that if you got questions or whatever, let me know. But thank you. I will talk to you guys later. Thanks again for all the support. And yes, we made it happen with your help, and I appreciate it. So good on you. And yeah, I'm celebrating tonight. So thank you, everyone. I'll see you guys later. That is all.